Listen, my dear, I need to tell you something serious that's shaking the entire spiritual world. Something is happening right in your home, in that space where you prepare meals for your family, and it's caught attention from above. And it wasn't for anything good, it was because they were shocked and worried about what they saw. Yes, in that little corner that seems so normal, where you never imagined there could be a problem, evil managed to sneak in and mess things up. Most people don't notice this, but up there, they're watching everything and have already sent orders to act. Because what invaded that place ended up stealing your peace, affecting your children, and disrupting your connection with God, all without you even suspecting. That's why you're receiving this message now. Don't think it's a coincidence, because it's not. This is part of a bigger plan. Your deliverance begins right this instant, as you read every word here. Go all the way to the end, because an important mystery from heaven is being revealed. And when you pass this on, you'll help free other homes too. That's how divine power works, without fanfare, but with full force. So show that you're tuned into this. Subscribe to stay protected and send it right away to the people you truly love. Pay close attention to everything being said here. Don't let anything slip by. This knowledge won't appear again like this. Listen carefully. The kitchen, that simple place so close to you, has become an entry door to the spiritual world without you knowing a thing. What's stored there, what you eat and what you let in doesn't just bring taste and smell. It brings along invisible forces and influences that go much deeper than you imagine. Some objects you placed in that spot weren't just bought from any store. They were consecrated by hands you don't know, in environments your natural eyes can't see, and the adversary knows this all too well. He understands perfectly that if he can't enter through the front door, he'll come in through habit, via inherited utensils, pots given as gifts, images disguised as decorations, or even recipes learned from spiritually contaminated sources. The enemy enters smiling, hiding, pretending to be harmless, while you're busy tending to the rice and beans on the stove. But heaven only stays silent when you're truly protected and covered. And right now, the eyes of the Most High are precisely fixed on what you've allowed to sit on the counter, on the fridge, or on that shelf near the stove. The heavens are astonished because secret alliances are being formed with the invisible world inside your own home, right in the place where provision is produced, where food is prepared. You worry about physical health, seek the right medicines, fret over medical exams, pray for bodily issues, but forget that the enemy works precisely in the small details you don't pray over. He doesn't need to make noise or appear obviously. He works slowly, patiently, through what seems normal and harmless, an old pot that belonged to someone who practiced rituals, a spice prepared with strange prayers, a small image that seems just decoration, but carries consecration to entities you can't even imagine, a kitchen item gifted by someone who didn't wish you well. All this creates spiritual openings, breaches through which the enemy slips silently into your home. And the worst part is you don't even suspect, because it's all mixed in with routine, the everyday, what you do without thinking twice. But today, right now, heaven is exposing this. It's bringing to light what was hidden. It's showing where the enemy stepped into your home without permission, and the order from above is clear. Clean this place. Remove what doesn't belong. Reconsecrate this space. Pray over every corner. Declare spiritual authority over your kitchen, because this isn't just a place to prepare food. It's a place of provision, family communion, nourishment. And the enemy knows that if he can contaminate this space, he contaminates everything that comes from it. He contaminates the food, the conversations, the peace of the whole family. So don't ignore this warning. Don't brush past this word like it's just another message. This is serious, this is urgent, and this is happening in your home right now, even if you haven't fully realized it yet. But heaven has seen it, and it's giving you the chance to act before it's too late. He moves in the shadows of intentions, not in big attacks. He doesn't need to completely destroy your home. He just needs to find a crack to slip through. And one of the most common doors is routine, the food itself. What should nourish is contaminating. What was meant to be a blessing has turned into a distraction. Behind all this hides an ancient, silent, evil plot. But my child, today I woke you up because no one I love will stay deceived for long. Daughter, remember that day you brought that beautiful decorative piece into the kitchen? It matched the furniture perfectly. It gave you a pleasant feeling. It seemed like an innocent gift, but behind it was something your natural eyes couldn't perceive. Because the enemy likes to dress his traps in beauty, he infiltrates what appears right, modern, even blessed, but whose origin comes from environments loaded with invocations opposed to my presence. There are things in that space you can't even imagine, recipes inherited from generations that worshipped spirits, pots from fairs where objects were consecrated, pictures with symbols that don't represent your faith, but silently attract a strange atmosphere over your home. You feel it when the environment gets heavy, when you enter the kitchen and an inexplicable anguish envelops you, when the kids argue for no reason, when the food doesn't satisfy, when the house seems full but spiritually empty. Child, daughter, I am the God who frees even in the smallest details. What you don't see, I bring to light. And right now, one of my angels has entered your home, not with violence, but with authority, because what was sown in error will be undone by revelation. And that revelation is happening now. Do you think it's just a simple utensil, a keepsake, an everyday object? But in the spiritual plane, there are marks, seals, pacts, and everything that doesn't belong to me will be removed, because I am Lord not only of the temple, but of every room in your house. You wonder why you feel discouraged when preparing food, why prayer before eating feels empty, why your children have lost their spiritual appetite. I answer, there is spiritual contamination in the place where bread is broken. But today, out of love for your family, I am opening your eyes. From now on, your home enters a new cycle that will begin with obedience, sensitivity to discern, courage to observe, clean and reconsecrate. You will look at your surroundings with new eyes. You will feel my spirit showing you what must go, and when you remove it, the air will change. You'll notice the difference. The environment will breathe, prayer will flow freely. Your children will sleep in peace, and harmony will reign again. You asked for deliverance, protection, miracles, and I tell you it all starts from within. Your kitchen is an altar where your family is sustained. It's there that blessing or curse finds space. It's there that the invisible acts in silence or is expelled with authority. And today, the decision is in your hands. My archangel has already been sent. He's at the door. All that's missing is your action, because the spiritual world moves according to order. When you decide to clean, remove, consecrate and pray, the atmosphere will respond. Those who pursued you will retreat. Those who envied you will find no cracks, because your home will be marked again with my name. It's not exaggeration, it's a warning. You asked for answers, direction, signs, and here it is, clear, direct, and supernatural. I loved you so much that I interrupted your routine to show you the source of the obstacle holding you back. Many seek blessings in the wrong places, but true blessing starts with care and purity. And it starts now with the simple act of opening your eyes to what was hidden. You're not alone. As you listen, I am already acting. My spirit surrounds you. Ministers of my kingdom are being assigned to guard you. Do not fear, but do not delay, because the time for spiritual cleansing has come, and the heavens will celebrate when your home is completely mine again. Keep listening, child, because more revelations are coming, and every word in this message has a precise purpose in your spirit. If this word resonates in your inner being, if it touches the deepest part of your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Give it a like, subscribe to keep receiving this divine direction, and share it now with those who need to hear it. You can't imagine how much this act can protect other lives, save homes, open eyes, and serve as a bridge between destruction and restoration. Be an answer in someone's story. Your action can transform destinies. And as you share, I remain here because your spiritual journey is just beginning. Stay with me until the end, because there's more, much more to reveal. Do you want me to keep revealing more to you? The environment of your home perceives everything you allow into it. There are objects that carry stories you don't know, but the spiritual world does recognize them. Some utensils, pots, images or symbols placed there weren't chosen just for beauty or appearance. They were introduced into your surroundings by hands with different intentions. While you prepare food with love and dedication, something invisible watches and feeds on the legality that carelessness allowed. You pray, beg for healing, cry out for answers. But if what touches the food is spiritually contaminated, prayer loses its power. Not because I don't hear you, but because there's a cleansing that requires your collaboration. Your home's atmosphere changes when you set aside what I haven't consecrated. There are elements in that place made with purposes contrary to light, and unknowingly, you place them right in the center of family communion. This must be stopped. Evil doesn't install itself noisily or evidently. It enters subtly where no one pays attention. The kitchen, which should be a symbol of union and a source of provision, can turn into a focus of disturbance when senseless arguments start, when food spoils without explanation, or when the environment becomes dense even in silence. All this indicates something deeper is happening. It's time to awaken spiritually and look beyond the visible. How many times have you prepared coffee with good intentions and still felt a strange weight in the environment? It's not imagination, it's spiritual sensitivity. Don't ignore that perception because it's a gift from the Spirit alerting you to the invisible. The small details that seem insignificant to human eyes have enormous weight in the spiritual. What enters through the kitchen door symbolically reaches the family's blood. Every food is like a seed. If sown in consecrated ground, it will germinate life. But if contaminated, it will spread pain. In many homes, discord arises for no apparent reason. But when viewed with spiritual vision, everything has an origin. Objects received with good intentions, but from environments of idolatry, occultism, or spiritual rebellion. The table where everyone sits to share is directly connected to what is placed there. That's why it's not enough to pray for family unity. You must also purify the surroundings where that unity happens. I see your surrender, your effort to protect your own, but true protection requires discernment. It's no use closing physical doors if there are spiritual windows open. Every utensil, ornament, or decorative element emits energy, and that vibration influences the home's spiritual balance. When that energy comes from impure roots, darkness finds shelter unnoticed. You have authority to break all this. Don't fear what you'll discover when you start removing certain objects. What seems beautiful may be preventing promises from being fulfilled. Perhaps the piece someone gave you, the ornament from another culture, or the image you consider harmless. All this needs to be examined under prayer and wisdom, because a home consecrated to light cannot contain traces of foreign pacts. Where there is true clarity, darkness has no place. There is an alliance between you and the holiness you chose to live, and that alliance must extend to your home. A home doesn't become holy just by the faith of those who live in it, but by the spiritual harmony maintained inside. That's why there are homes where illness settles without reason, families that slowly separate, relationships that cool without explanation. It all starts in nearly invisible details, but with great spiritual weight. This is the moment to go through every corner of your kitchen with attention and determination, not with fear, but with firmness. Ask the Holy Spirit to show you what must be removed. Discernment will come like a soft whisper, like a holy discomfort. And when you decide to remove what doesn't edify, you'll feel the air renew. You'll notice how peace returns, how prayer flows more freely, and how the environment becomes lighter. Do it in silence with reverence, like a priest purifying his altar. Remove the objects with respect but without attachment, because what's at stake is much greater: your family's peace, the health of your loved ones, and the permanence of blessing in your home. And as you perform this act, be assured that all of heaven joins you, supporting your decision, because you are aligning your dwelling with the divine purpose written before you were born. If something inside you is resonating now, declare with faith in the comments, "I believe in God's plan because it was He who said it." In the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 18, "My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. Where peace reigns, there is no room for what contaminates." May your kitchen reflect this eternal truth. It should be an altar, not an entry door for confusing energies. The enemy operates through distractions. While you focus your strength on facing big storms, he slips into the daily, the automatic, the unquestioned routine. But today, something was stopped. You wouldn't be receiving this message if you weren't ready. What is starting right now is a new stage of deep restoration. You'll feel the environment respond, and the emotional and physical health of your home will be achieved by the divine hand. Silent miracles will begin to manifest. The prayers you lift every morning will resonate with greater intensity. The food you prepare with love will nourish not just the body, but the soul. Conversations around the table will flow without the weight that once oppressed them, and the dreams of those who live with you will regain color and purpose. It all starts with one act, and that act belongs to you. Don't wait for more signs, because this is a visit from heaven to your home, an awakening few receive, but you have. Perhaps you've lived until today without understanding it, but now that the truth has been revealed, there's no going back. In the spiritual world, there is no neutrality. Either the home is a source of light, or it becomes a refuge for what infiltrates through carelessness cracks. Your choice today defines tomorrow's atmosphere, and that decision is being watched from the heights. When someone positions themselves with sincerity and truth, all of heaven aligns in their favor. If the food that nourishes the body also has spiritual value, then the kitchen must reflect that same sacred nature. It's not about rituals, but awareness. Understanding that there begins the soul's health, that this is the place where generosity, communion, and life itself are expressed. When the environment is clean and consecrated, even the boiling water becomes a blessing. Every aroma, every dish, every simple gesture becomes an invisible offering to the kingdom. The Holy Spirit does not dwell in mixed spaces. Either there is light or there isn't. Purity starts with decisions, daily choices. Objects that once seemed harmless can become chains if consecrated to what doesn't come from me, and you can perceive it. That unexplained insomnia, sudden irritation, weight on your shoulders that doesn't go away, these aren't just physical discomforts. They're signs that something spiritual needs attention. Don't reproach yourself for not seeing it before, because discernment comes at the exact moment. And now that it has, a path of victory opens before you. Cleansing will be the first step. Anointing will rest again where there was distraction. You'll notice the difference. Joy will manifest in the details. The atmosphere will become lighter, and you'll feel secure walking in your own home. This isn't imagination. It's evidence of the power of holiness being restored. People will enter your home and notice something different. They won't know how to explain it, but they'll feel peace. This happens when you remove what doesn't belong and restore what was forgotten. The presence, the authentic presence that doesn't depend on images or symbols, but reveals itself in silence with authority and healing power. There is no greater blessing than having a spiritually consecrated home. When the house is clean, the enemy finds no place to act. Negative words cast against your family lose strength and return empty. Envy finds nowhere to land. Illnesses don't settle easily, and the heart becomes firm, sensitive to the divine voice. Food prepared in such an environment carries healing. Water tastes like life. Aromas awaken hope. Children grow understanding what it means to live in a space where God reigns, not by imposition, but by presence. That presence that transforms, protects, cares without noise, chose you for this restoration. It's no coincidence you're hearing these words. Something great is starting in your home, and the kitchen will be the starting point. Do it with surrender, respect, gratitude, because what is being healed today is deeper than you imagine. It's the spiritual structure of your home being rebuilt. From this moment, observe every object carefully. Ask the Spirit if it should stay or go. You're not alone in this process. Angels are assigned to work with you, and a promise is already being fulfilled. I will go before you and make the crooked paths straight. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 2. The crooked path straightens when the home aligns with divine presence. Keep this word in your heart. Meditate on it. Let every phrase resonate within you as a reminder that God cares for even the smallest details, and that when He reveals something, it's because He's ready to act. The peace you've longed for starts now, and will continue growing as you allow light to govern your home. Do you want me to keep speaking? Then pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this isn't a theory or a nice idea. It's a direct warning from heaven to the heart of whoever has responsibility over a home. Purifying your house starts inside, but manifests outside. Every space you consecrate becomes a barrier to the invisible, and if the kitchen is the heart of the home, it must remain pure like an altar. Have you ever stopped to think why recipes that always worked start failing without explanation? Why harmony during meals has faded little by little? Food is a channel, and when that channel is spiritually contaminated, what enters the mouth also reaches the spirit. Not everything that happens in the physical has a physical cause. There are invisible influences that feed on the distraction of those who should be vigilant. And this isn't superstition, it's spiritual truth, divine teaching put into practice. The Apostle Paul said, "Everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial." Not everything the market offers deserves to be bought. Not everything that seems profitable truly edifies. That's why discernment must be exercised daily. Otherwise, the surroundings fill with interferences that steal peace, your peace, and that of those you love. Reordering the kitchen isn't just about aesthetics or external organization. It's a spiritual act, a declaration of authority over your space. It's removing from the center what doesn't contribute to good. It's letting go of attachment to old gifts that evoke memories but block promises about to manifest. There are objects that hold stories, but those stories don't belong to you. And if they don't belong to you, they shouldn't occupy your table, be near your fire, or stay in your sight. Imagine for a moment heaven looking at your home, not with judgment but with jealous love. Picture the Father wanting to move, touch, and heal, but finding elements He never sowed there. Still, His insistence persists. He shows you tenderly that things must go because He urgently wants to free you from what was placed without prayer, without direction, without His light. There is more healing power in the simple act of opening a drawer with faith than in 1,000 empty words, because battles are won in the details. Sometimes removing just one object aligns the entire spiritual environment. You notice it immediately. The air renews, the mind clears, prayer flows easily, and life regains meaning even in the smallest gestures. God honors every act that shows respect and reverence for His presence. If you feel this message resonates deep within you, declare in faith, "Your light guides me." Engrave that affirmation in the invisible. Psalm 119, verse 105 proclaims, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." And when light breaks in, darkness doesn't negotiate. It retreats, flees, disappears. It can't resist the presence of one who walks with purpose. Don't expect everyone to understand what you're doing. This is an intimate, silent, deep decision. Some will judge it as exaggeration, but only you know your home's spiritual atmosphere. Only you perceive the invisible signs. Only you notice when peace hides. That's why your surrender will be recognized and honored in the heavens. The spiritual world always responds to acts of faith, Some objects that seem harmless today were sown as traps to stop your spiritual growth, but you don't need to fight them with fear. Just discern, remove, and pray over that specific corner, anoint it with oil, and declare that this space now belongs to light and no longer to confusion. Where God reigns, evil has no authority. Where there is reverence, there is protection. Soon you'll see tangible results. Rest will be more restorative. Family dialogue will restore. Meals will unite hearts again. The kitchen's aroma will evoke grace, not weight. And the air will become sweet, light, full of serenity. That place, once a source of tension, will become an altar of encounter with the sacred, because divine presence dwells where it's welcomed. It doesn't matter how many years an object has been there, or who gave it to you. What matters now is who is awakening you spiritually. Something greater is moving in your favor. You've been included in a process of deep renewal. Heaven is cleaning your house to prepare the ground for new promises. And those who position themselves with humility experience miracles, even in the most discreet corners. You don't need to understand everything. Just obey that inner voice that won't leave you alone until you act. Don't ignore that slight discomfort. Don't try to rationalize it. Faith is action before understanding, movement before explanation. Right now, the spiritual world is watching your response. This gesture of yours will be remembered as the day everything began to change. Perhaps you grew up hearing these things don't matter, that only heart intention counts. But Scripture teaches clearly, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Joshua chapter 3, verse 5. Sanctification covers the entire environment, decisions, renunciations. And when you set your surroundings apart for God, you open the door to miracle. Start by opening the cabinets. Touch each object with prayer. Ask for direction. Be silent if needed. The Holy Spirit will guide you, and you'll know what to keep and what to remove. Some things will seem insignificant, but you'll feel they shouldn't stay. Obey the inner peace that settles when the decision is right. Peace will be your sign. It may bring up old memories or emotions. Don't fear. It's the past trying to hold you in the place God is pulling you from. Breathe deeply. Pray, declare that your home is holy ground, that your kitchen will be an altar of restoration, provision, and divine encounter, because that's what it was created for. You'll see how the environment becomes prophetic. Every meal will be a feast of deliverance. Every pot will be consecrated to care. Every preparation will be covered in intercession. Those who cross the threshold will notice something different, though they can't explain it. They'll know in their spirit that there's a pact there, that someone serves with sincerity. Even blocked resources will start flowing, because where there is spiritual cleansing, there is prosperity. The kitchen will stop being a point of expense and become a center of multiplication. Food will stretch for all. Oil won't run out, and those who sit at the table will feel divine presence more than flavor, for there will be an aroma of peace enveloping the place. Miracle doesn't need grand scenarios. It starts in secret when you decide to remove what doesn't harmonize with divine presence. When you determine that the place where bread is broken will also be where blessing is released. This isn't religion. It's spiritual wisdom. It's life guided by the Spirit, maturity of one who understands everything, communicates something, and everything must be under light. Future generations will reap the fruits of your decision. They'll inherit not just utensils or recipes, but a pure atmosphere. They'll grow knowing faith is expressed in every corner of the home, that the kitchen is as sacred as the prayer place, that God manifests there too, speaks and ministers there. And when fatigue reaches you or strength seems to wane, the consecrated atmosphere will sustain you. The home will start healing your soul. Your house will become a refuge, no longer just a physical space, but a spiritual territory, a set-apart land, ground where heaven sets its feet. And when heaven touches earth, nothing stays the same. Everything transforms, flourishes, comes back to life. You have before you a rare opportunity, a silent call few perceive, and even fewer obey. It's not about changing furniture or replacing objects out of superstition. It's a deep spiritual repositioning, re-establishing sacred balance in the space where daily life intertwines with the divine. Your kitchen isn't just a place to prepare food. It's a territory of spiritual decisions, an altar where, without realizing, you've made choices that echo in visible and invisible planes. The silence in it is acclaimed in the spiritual world, not by noise but by the presence dwelling there. When something profane remains where the holy should dwell, an invisible conflict arises, a clash of spiritual frequencies manifesting in the most everyday symptoms. Impatience, unnecessary arguments, wounding words, food that doesn't satisfy, meals that, though abundant, don't nourish. It's not exaggeration, it's a spiritual reality many ignore. That's why the time has come to reorganize not just the physical space, but the spiritual atmosphere surrounding it. There are pots holding memories of pain, utensils impregnated with sadness or frustration, plates inherited from stories not yours, symbols stuck on walls or tiles carrying pacts your home never signed. Perhaps you received some with love and good intention, but love without discernment can open breaches where the nameless enters. Everything entering your home without consecration to good can become an open door to confusion. Every object emits a sound in the spiritual plane, a vibration the invisible world perceives. What was made or consecrated with contrary intentions vibrates like an invitation, and where there's invitation, there's entry. That's why some decisions must be made firmly, even if it costs letting go, because it's not about material value, but your home's spiritual state. It's time to decide who has a voice in your house. There can be no blessing where spiritual disorder dominates, even if everything looks clean to human eyes. If the root is contaminated, the fruit will inevitably be bitter. The Holy Spirit reveals to restore, not condemn. And today, he's speaking precisely about this. A healing that starts in the surroundings, expands to the soul, and finally reflects in the physical body. Consecrated food transmits health, while what comes from darkness generates subtle illness, weariness, discouragement. It's time to return to the original purpose. Remember how your home felt when everything was new, pure, simple. Before accumulations, before gifts, without prayer, return to the beginning simplicity. A jar may seem insignificant, but when consecrated to light, it becomes a channel between natural and supernatural. It's in these small details where heaven finds space to move. If something in you awakens with these words, write with faith, "My house will be a dwelling of peace." Let that declaration resonate in your spirit as you proclaim Isaiah chapter 32, verse 18. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. This promise is for those who decide to purify their surroundings and allow divine presence to occupy every corner. How many times have you tried a new spiritual beginning and something invisible held you back? How many prayer campaigns started without progress? Perhaps the root of stagnation is in that place you never imagined, the kitchen. That space, forgotten in prayers, is actually the heart of the home. There where bread is broken, communion strengthens or breaks. It all depends on the atmosphere inhabiting it, not just physically but spiritually. Look now with new eyes at the details. Pictures on walls, with phrases not reflecting peace, ornaments evoking practices foreign to your faith, travel souvenirs impregnated with undiscerned cultures spiritually. Everything communicates something. Every color, figure, symbol carries a message, and today you're invited to align every detail with what you truly believe. It's not an act of fear, but zeal, reverence. True restoration doesn't require noise or spectacle. It arises from silence and firm decision. It's when opening the cabinet and praying for direction that heavens start moving. It's when taking an object in your hands and asking in spirit if it contributes to your home's peace that scales fall from eyes. You weren't created to live in loaded environments, but to dwell in spaces where God's Spirit has freedom to flow. The Spirit doesn't manifest where there's mixture. Either he reigns or he's an occasional visitor, and he doesn't want to visit. He wants to reign. This requires renunciation, separating the truly sacred from what only appears to be. Aesthetics can't weigh more than divine presence. A home decorated with objects consecrated to deception is one where peace can't stay. It's not about fear. It's about truth, spiritual authenticity. You don't need to be radical with others, but with yourself. The home's atmosphere starts with who decides to guard it. And guarding isn't just wiping dust or sweeping the floor. It involves cleaning the invisible, removing what isn't seen but is felt. It's praying while organizing. It's talking to God while removing something from a shelf. It's declaring with determination, here only what brings life will remain, only what radiates peace. Some pieces hold memories of pain. They may not have been created to harm you, but they retain vibrations of difficult moments. Where there's unhealed pain, doors are open. Perhaps a jar from days you cried in silence, or a gift from someone who hurt you. It's time to decide what enters and what leaves, what stays and what must go. You do it not for mere taste, but because you're positioning yourself spiritually. You're sending a clear message to the invisible world. This home belongs to light. This kitchen will be an altar. What was once friction will become encounter. Where agitation reigned, now there will be direction. Food will be seed of peace, and those sitting at the table will feel a greater presence than any word. You may feel resistance starting this process. That's natural. When light enters, what was hidden tries to stay. Persevere, pray softly. Sing a hymn if you feel it. Breathe deeply. Perceive you're not alone. There's an invisible army aligning with every action. Every physical step causes simultaneous transformation in the spiritual plane. And when you finish, when the atmosphere is purified, you'll notice the distinct air, peace flowing without obstacles. Your home will stop being just a material refuge and become a living sanctuary, a space where heaven finds rest. There, every aroma will be prayer, every dish offering, every everyday moment communion with the divine. Because when heaven steps into a house, nothing stays the same. Everything changes, flourishes, comes back to life. Don't underestimate small signs. Those subtle manifestations seeming simple coincidences, but actually communicating something deeper. That dish breaking constantly, that fridge failing again and again, that stove never working right. Perhaps not just material wear, they could be warnings, reminders the environment cries for purification. Because when there's altered presence or unbalanced energy, even objects start reflecting. Everything touched with reverence becomes a channel of peace. But when harmony breaks, even the inanimate expresses need for restoration. Renewing your kitchen isn't superficial change. It's a reflection expanding to your whole house. The balance achieved there will affect conversation tone, environment serenity, rest quality, how your children relate, even how dreams manifest at night. Everything is deeply connected. Visible and spiritual worlds aren't separate. They intertwine in every decision, and each opens or closes a door. When you purify an environment, you release an anointing not limited to that corner. That spiritual energy spreads silently through corridors, touches rooms, reaches loved ones' thoughts, renews their interior without words. A consecrated atmosphere propagates. Its influence is powerful enough to transform hearts. Because peace is expansive, harmony contagious, and Spirit's presence convinces without demanding, forcing, imposing. Always remember, it's not price or appearance determining an object's spiritual power, but intention in creation or acquisition. A simple element loaded with bad energies or dark intentions can become conflict focus in the home. So don't judge by beauty or economic value. Look beyond visible. Observe with faith eyes. Ask Spirit for discernment to detect what natural eyes can't. The home you long to build starts with simple but powerful decision. Choose light. The transformation you've prayed for doesn't manifest in grand gestures, but small, conscious, intentional steps. Today is the day light reoccupies its central place. Today, peace stops being distant desire and becomes real experience. Heaven doesn't ask perfection, just willingness, and that willingness already lives in you. Breathe deeply. If you can, close your eyes for a few seconds and feel the surroundings. What once seemed simple physical space now has spiritual purpose. It's not that the place changed tangibly, it's your gaze transformed. That's heaven's first work. Change how you see, so everything around responds to new vision. When you behold with truth, external starts aligning with internal. Hands that once organized by habit now act with divine intention. Every gesture, however small, becomes consecration. The cloth wipes, drawer adjusts, spoon moves. Everything now has spiritual meaning. In that daily movement, invisible world recognizes your action. The kitchen stops being mere domestic space and becomes sanctuary and counterpoint between eternal and everyday. It's not just physical cleaning, but silent spiritual liberation, like opening sealed windows for years to let in light and with it truth. Forgotten utensils in cabinet depths come back to view. Decorative ornaments once ignored, now observed with discernment. Nothing escapes the praying soul's gaze organizing, nothing hidden from divine presence. Perhaps you notice certain objects no longer resonate with you, don't harmonize with faith, don't transmit peace. You may perceive subtle discomfort always there, but now evident. It's not objects changed, your spirit evolved. And where spiritual maturity exists, separation too. What once went unnoticed now disrupts soul harmony. Don't fear starting over. Restart is divine gift, opportunity to rebuild, realign, redirect. When you release what doesn't bring life, you make space for new to flourish. And new from God always comes with freshness, calm, direction. He doesn't enter by force. Knocks softly, invites, waits, dwells, transforms. A purified environment becomes dwelling of promises. Removing certain objects may bring memories, emotions, even annoyances. Let them flow. Allow manifestation and departure. Don't cling to what causes pain or protect what robs peace. Some objects, like open wounds, need covering with truth. Others function as doors to memories that must close. This is perfect moment. Every kitchen choice echoes outside. Place-feeding body must nourish spirit. If something blocks vital energy, move, reorder, purify it. Heaven honors who cleans corners others don't see, sanctifies backstage, purifies in silence. Because great liberation process is born in intimacy, hidden, quiet obedience. When preparing food in consecrated environment, that food becomes medicine, heals emotions, restores relations, renews spirit. It's no longer just what you cook, but intention. No longer just what you serve, but energy placing on table. Every gesture, word, aroma has message vibrating in spiritual world. If you feel in heart this message belongs to you, declare with faith, I align with light. Make that phrase your commitment and keep in soul this eternal promise. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. External cleaning always starts internal. When heart aligns with light, spiritual vision expands, and with it strength to release what once seemed impossible. Remember also your kitchen's atmosphere responds to frequency of words pronounced there. How many times between pot and another harsh phrases launched, rants loaded with anger, conversations wearing instead of edifying. All leaves mark, walls, utensils, air retain memories, but everything can restore. One faith word can silence past wounds' echo. One blessing declaration can clean what pain marked. Thus, what was routine becomes sacred rite. What simple movement transforms into living prayer. And your kitchen, apparently ordinary space, becomes extension of communion with divine. Altar where visible and invisible embrace in perfect harmony. Today you can start pronouncing life where fear was. Declare calm where chaos reigned. Raise voice in thanks for every small detail, because gratitude opens what closed. Complaint builds walls, gratitude opens portals. Your words have power to mark new stage, beginning in home and spirit. Just decide from this instant, every word from mouth will be hope and renewal seed. It's not about perfection, but keeping heart sensitive to Spirit's touch, whispering as you walk house, guiding steps and gaze to what needs attention. He'll show what to keep, release, make sacred. Intuition in harmony with divine presence becomes powerful discernment tool, and discerning in times where everything seems confusing is one greatest gifts. Who decides consecrate kitchen, consecrates food sustaining existence. It's not superstition, but spiritual alignment. Understanding everything, touching body, touches soul. Peaceful soul reflects in stronger, serene, resistant body. God's presence not only dwells temples, strengthens home's emotional system. That's why everything starts where bread shared. Miracle door doesn't always open with grand gestures, often simple acts. Silent cleaning, prayer reorganized drawer, decisive removed old object. Then spiritual flow changes. Where order, spirit finds freedom to move. Where truth, space for healing. Where renunciation, reward arrives. Not material but peace no wealth buys. Everything transforming outside first starts inside. When soul chooses light, eyes open, notice excesses. Details once ignored gain meaning. Even what seemed beautiful can feel out of place if origin not aligned with good. That's spiritual maturity. Recognize what once served now limits. Like clothing once fit, now tightens breath. What once correct now bothers because spirit grew. Nothing revealed today blames but awakens, guides, reminds your house not just physical structure, but space-molding destinies, eternal weight decisions. And in that sacred scenario, kitchen central role. There you talk to God without realizing, stirring pot, making coffee. Their melodies calm soul, deepest conversations occur. Don't underestimate spiritual power of food preparation place. That space shapes mood, defines day rhythms, marks family memories. When consecrate kitchen, declare with authority to invisible world. My house has owner, my kitchen has purpose. Here no space for confusion or division. Here only peace, faith, light dwell. Odi. And if feel necessary, ask forgiveness from home, yours yourself, because forgiveness purifies, restores. Sometimes blocking energy, not object, but old resentment, bitterness-loaded silence, pain suspended in air needing dissolution with truth. Not empty words, but sincere surrender. No need resolve all one day, but take first step. Open first cabinet, pronounce first prayer, touch first object with pure intention, then let spirit complete work. He'll show, clean, guide. Because that's what he does, finding willing hearts, opening space to sacred. This process doesn't end in kitchen, expands every home corner, thoughts, choices, but everything starts there. What begins vital home center reflects entire emotional, spiritual life structure. Prepare notice transformations, not necessarily spectacular, but soft, constant, deep. Lighter breaths, harmonious days, tranquil nights. Everything changed because allowed light occupy where shadow filled. Metamorphosis started, discernment now strengthens repositioning. Home atmosphere starts aligning silently, not fantasy, but spiritual result. Every light step modifies surroundings. Kitchen once preparation space becomes tangible extension beliefs, declarations, decisions. Invisible force activates when act from authentic faith, not empty religiosity. When choose clean, not just beautify but consecrate, entire environment responds. Feel in air, silence, people eye contact. Installed lightness, not casualty. Signal something spiritual broken released. Manifestation divine presence what closed to light. Everything born internal determination. What emerges secret place expands all touch. Removing object carrying contrary peace memory, not just clean house, release stories, break invisible alliances, restore celestial energy flow from above. That energy not bought, manufactured, received humility. Think times entered space, felt inexplicable pressure, silent discomfort, unexplained sadness. Or food smell brought no joy but invisible weight, not always seasoning fatigue, often spiritual load guarded. Environment speaks, something not place soul perceives, though can't explain. Reacts, unrests, seeks relief, now guided safe path. This revelation came because something needs realignment, not generate fear, but strengthen faith. What heaven shows, not threat, but loving invitation, participate, own restoration. Spirit leading clean, not just kitchen, but home energetic center. With it, life spiritual center. Because decide open space, divine presence, miracle, not delay. And that presence once welcomed, not leave, stays, dwells, transforms. Light today allow, enter kitchen soon, flood every room, thought, relation. Then understand what seemed simple act, reorganize, clean, release, was actually spiritual power act. New alliance, soul, eternal light, calling, live, fullness. Spiritual plane observes small details, great relevance, from kitchen cloth, unusual phrases, to inherited cutlery, dense energy stories. Everything examine again, discernment value. This time demands courage. Courage release what once made sense, but today unnecessary weight. Courage detach what no longer harmonizes faith. Courage decide home, no longer broken memories deposit, but serenity refuge. And though transformation not overnight, starts right now. Simple act, open drawer, declare conviction. Only what emanates light remain. Restored homes spiritually carry invisible mark. Darkness recognizes spaces no longer enter. Adversary can't stand truth-affirmed presence. Thus, even silence notice change signs, rest modifications, pronounced words, mood-sharing roof. Environment expresses now, intoning different melody. Surely already perceived, when place loaded dense energies, even sounds perceived distinct. Kettle whistle annoying, pan sizzle distracts. But purified spiritually, everything vibrates should, even silence sweet. Fire burns purpose, water boils calm, food prepares light soul, entire home benefits. If this message resonating interior, right faith, your light guides me. Remember Psalms book chapter 23 verse 5. You prepare table before me, presence enemies, anoint head oil, cup overflows. Because environment disposed, God sits. When he sits, everything orders. Home transforms spiritual fortress, no longer vulnerable before, now consciousness authority granting. Simple fact, wipe cabinet heart praise, silence produces deep impact, not just physical movement, but accompanying spiritual intention. Spirit acts, finding space, kitchen, preparing, receive. Noted most miracles, healings, family life. Scriptures happened common spaces, homes, courtyards, everyday places, because eternal manifests precisely simple. When sacred dwells every day, routine becomes miracle. Humblest food transforms offering, stove altar, plate renewal channel, everything surrender, sincerity, spirit he transforms. Perhaps kitchen scene arguments contain tears, joyless meals, but today can become new beginning symbol, space flowing living water, table celebration motive, food heals not just feeds, looks meet peace, not indifference. Remember, home chosen territory, no object, however valuable, beautiful, surpasses inhabiting tranquility importance. If something interrupts harmony, remove. If generates unease, reevaluate. God not manifest chaos, but order. Called restore order, not fear confidence, not anguish direction. Honest yourself, something always avoided look, perhaps cabinet never open. Gift keep commitment bothers, moment face ignoring could affect peace. Spirit not point guilt, but free. Show lightness possible, divine presence accessible, home truly peace house. Home energy transforms, decide, consecrate. Vibration elevates, senses sharpen, even day sounds become rest melodies. Water flow sync, sounds blessing. Dishwashing, gratitude act. Time spent no longer heavy, now purpose presence truth where custom. Many cross life without understanding, unaware invisible needs attention, spiritual world moves aloud. Received understanding makes responsible, not burden, honor. Understood before many signals set apart greater purpose. Divine presence manifests desired. Today long more presence, no reach. Everything starts right attitude, sincere surrender. Courage, touch invisible, visible. No separation, spiritual every day. Allow light govern all. Kitchen just beginning, powerful, transforming entire structure. As clean pray, reorganize, feel. Inner strength strengthens. Perhaps can't explain words, but no longer same. Notice clearer thoughts, tender expressions, wiser decisions. Starts outside, flourishes inside. Home harmonizes, heart calms, surprise, new lightness enter house, perceive different atmosphere. Say something special, know truth. Not just aesthetic change, spiritual transformation. Decision consecrate food, preparation place, reordering environment, response call, silent, yes, resonated heaven. Remain listening, state voice now speaks, heart knows history layers even tried forget. This message not arrived, just move objects, reorganize cabinets, arrived reach internal corners, long not allow light enter, just there deep silence, heaven entering now intimate space, needs breathe again. Kept too many things inside around. Not refer, just jars, memories, old utensils, also words never processed, pains, accumulated cutlery, silences, guarded emotion shelves. Everything connected house reflects soul state, soul responds, home contains. Cleaning started exterior, now seeks cross deepest being. Spirit not burst invites. Invitation manifests revelation. Revelation touches without oppressing, shows without condemning, opens eyes without wounding heart. Divine truth acts pure oil, purifies, heals, prepares. From moment start, understand certain home corners generate discomfort, not furniture memories impregnated. Think table share meals. How many times sustained more sadness food? How many suppers accompanied hard news disguised dialogue arguments? How many times ate hurry not feel? That table needs restore, represents pact provision communion. Every broken alliance requires repair, blessing flow again. Heaven not restore, still refuse show, illuminate patience until recognize. Decide surrender, object memory resentment, something moves immediately invisible. Kitchen becomes emotional healing territory, perceive cleaning exterior, start cleaning interior. Long believed silence equaled peace today, understand mere containment. Environment not heal, simply repressed. Now words flow, emotions, find course atmosphere, stop suffocating, start embracing. House finally starts express heart longed, lightness, truth, reconnection, hope. May cost detach, certain objects, stop moment ask, really ties. Perhaps fear, old guilts, emotional commitments, past moments. Attachment past may block God desires today. Some pots still retain aromas, times not return, need leave new, prepared, free soul. Consecrate kitchen, much more pronounce prayer, decide no food leave without peace impregnated. Between dish, another not pronounce wounding words, envy, not find cracks, condiments, every care, gesture, living love expression. Choice transforms destinies, redefines bonds, renews family foundations. Now stop moment perceive, even house sound changed. Wind enter window no longer disturbs. Time spend feels sacred. Mornings shine new light. As heaven once say, here, arrived, occupied, offered space. Everything touched divine presence transforms. Everything anointed truth flourishes. If message resonates interior, declare faith. I believe God's plan. Psalm 128 verse 2 affirms, you eat labor hands happy well. And your promise belongs. Homes decide, sanctify, produce. When labor hands consecrates, not just generates sustenance, blessing extends all sit table. What cook goes beyond flavor. Every prepared dish spiritual act, offering surrender. Realized harmony, full environment body, not just feeds, strengthens. Children rest better, adults dialogue, serenity, disagreements diminish, kitchen becomes understanding source. Understanding love finds space expand. Not hurry, allow process, occur softness. No true transformation imposes force, happens consciousness. Now consciousness can see before not perceived. Miracle greater, see clarity, discern without fear, decide firmness, seen truth, no longer pretend not. Words pronounce mark coming days, tone. Start blessing. Bless foods, share. Bless cabinets. Water flows, tap floor, step chair, sit. Everything acquires meaning, deliver intention. Everything responds. Heaven responds. House responds. Soul heals. Home becomes living extension, inhabits. Not think message, exaggeration, response, ask direction here. Simple, profound, delicate, powerful. Not change, large structures, transform, environment, spirit. Transformation occurs, consciousness aligns, truth. Seems small, spiritual world, eternal weight. Object, decide. Remove prayer, pronounced silence. Remember, tolerate remains, face transforms, moment, face serenity, determination, everything interrupts, blocks, peace, home, not violence, anxiety, tranquil authority, conscious sweetness, interior wisdom. Home energy perceives, occupies, takes place, clarity. Space recognizes, governing voice. Choose firm peace, establish power, constancy, purpose. Home then becomes silent master. Yes, teaches, consecrated places, divine presence invited, acquire subtle, powerful voice. Children feel without words. Animals perceive, sensitivity, cross threshold, reach calm, not explain experience. Kitchen, long relegated sacred acts, transforms encounter point, celestial light. There receive strength, bread, reconciliation, soul calms, time seems, stop, heart, listen. God whispers. Every dawn, something new settles. Stove flame burns different. Fresh coffee aroma carries more flavor, history, hope, new beginning promise. Kitchen cloth, now consecrated hands, not just dries, utensils, old tears, no reason remain. Routine, once weighed, becomes small daily feast. Divine presence dwells, ordinary becomes miracle. Living transformation. Began instant chose, listen attention, opened heart seemed too small importance. Now no corner too tiny, God manifest. Can dwell silence, also live simple spoon. Voice resonates, sanctuary also heard, soft pan, boiling murmur, baking bread, perfume. Presence enters, everything changes. Plates once piled, carelessness, now washed, distinct energy, as every movement purifies soul. Table once empty, careless back, flourish, fresh flowers adorned. Conversations once cold, distant, reborn warmth, genuine listening, renewed affection. Thus acts heaven. Delicacy, step, gesture, day. Seemed simple environment, physical adjustment becomes without notice, principle, deep history, renewal. Divine light touches space, place, stops, common starts, living witness. God presence transform everyday eternity.